What's going on, peoples? What's going on? Hey, listen, it's football Sunday, So unfortunately, my team doesn't play today. My team plays tomorrow. They got the highlight game with Philadelphia, the Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're gonna see what's gonna transpire with that situation there. You know what I'm saying? We're playing in Philly. Um, it'll be great to have a win, go 1-1. Last week, it was just a situation where I think that because you didn't play a lot of your starters the first game throughout the preseason, they came in a little rusty. And unfortunately, I understand. I understand it. You don't want to have anyone, succumb to injuries and things of that nature. But we all know that football is a timing situation. Your quarterback has to be in time with your receivers. Your quarterback has to be in time with, you got to get that out of him. You got to get comfortable back there in the back. Blocking assignments. There was a lot of guys that missed a lot of blocking assignments. It was way too much pressure. J.J. Watts, the Watts brother, not J.J., but the younger Watts, he just had a field day. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't chip him. They couldn't do anything to this cat, T.J. Watt. So I'm like, hey, listen. But you live and you learn. Week 2, do a better job. Unfortunately, we're getting ready to go up against a bunch of home area favorites, because Philadelphia's majority of their defense is University of Georgia football team. So they have that. Let's listen. We're all professionals. Let's go out here and let's do what we got to do. Take care. Whoever your team is, salute to them. Hope they give you everything that you want in a game today, and we'll go from there. I'm doing a Cuivari, Bonaventure, Maduro. Let me give you a little insight on Cuivari. Cuivari is a very good brand. They have a lot of faces. One of my favorites from them is Alexander the Great. I like the Cyclops. I like the Achilles. Of course, I like the Bonaventure. I like the Creme, which is the Connecticut version of the Bonaventure. The Don Leon. It goes and goes and goes. They have a very great line. And the best thing that I like about them, the price point. They have anywhere between $6 to $14 to $16 is going to kind of be their top. The Alexander the Great is probably one of their higher ends. It's probably going to be about $15, $16. And that's here in Georgia. So, if you find it anywhere else, like in Florida, where there's no state tax, Tennessee, it's going to even be, better than that. It's not going to give you a flashy band. It's going to be simple, straight to the point. But this is a really good cigar. And anybody that smokes, they'll tell you it's a solid stick, especially for the price point. It's a golf stick. It's a coffee stick. You can sit back and you can really enjoy this around amongst a bunch of guys who are smoking, high end stuff. You're not going to have a lot of your aging profiles on it, but as far as just a good solid cigar, I would recommend it to try it. So let's light up in honor of Football Sunday. What a lot of people don't do, a lot of beginners, you got to turn your cigar. You got to rotate it while you're lighting it. That way you got all areas of the front end of it lit. Hey, listen. You know, I'm not gonna keep you long because I know that football is right around the corner. But what I want to do is I do want to reach out and just talk a little bit to you. You know what I'm saying? Share a little bit of thoughts. A lot of the things that I talk about are things that are happening in our world, happening in our communities, locally, statewide, nationwide, just issues of concern worldwide. And here over the past recently, maybe it's a year or so, I've done more content about perception, what people perceive to be the way that they think that life should be. And there are a lot of men out here that are talking and really giving good sound advice in regards to, hey, we respect the simple fact that this is your choice and things of that nature, but men also have choices. And if you do not want to listen to anything that a man is saying, then you're fighting a losing cause. You're fighting a losing cause because it's not going to work out for your betterment, especially when you're dealing with an older guy, more mature guy. Because mature means that he's wiser. Mature means that he is willing to see a situation for what it is. And if he chooses to deal with something, it's his choice. And if he chooses not to deal with something, that is his choice. But let's not be, confused at it. Just because a brother is of age, it doesn't mean that he's hit the mature factor that he needs to be at. There's a lot of guys that are walking around acting like they're 12 years old, and they're into their feelings and they're into their things of their nature. And let's be realistic. People want what they want. They want what they want. And who's to say that what they want is wrong? Now, I didn't say that was logical, but I'm just saying to you, they can want what they want. Now, the reality of it is that they might not get it, but they have the right to want what they want. I just don't want people to be in situations whereas they think that it's going to be a certain way, and then when the judgment comes out, or the decision to decide whether or not this is something that I want to keep in my life, and they decide to let it go ahead and go on about its business, don't get upset at the simple fact that that's what happened. It's because you got to understand, just because a person chooses to have certain guidelines, it doesn't make you be in their life. If the decision that they made doesn't have you in their life, accept it. And it's a hard pill to bite. If you're dealing with your feelings and your emotions, and you're dealing with a situation whereas you really truly are trying to do everything that you can, if they don't want you, they just don't want you. And sometimes, absence makes the heart go fonder. I've said that a couple of times. Absence make the heart go fonder. Absence make, a situation go, well, hey, I want to deal with this person. I miss this person. But you have to, that's a very slippery slope. If you tell someone that, hey, I'm really not feeling this situation, I want to make a change, and then if that person decides to move on and go on about their life, and if you know that was a person that you really connected with, you can't get mad or upset if that opportunity slips through your hand. And let's be realistic. There's a bunch of Looney Tunes out here. Men, women, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. You know, like me and my man said, it's weird out here. It's some weird stuff going on out here that you just sit back and you like, for real? But you'll never be shocked at some of the things that people express and they share with you about where they are and what's happening and people that they're meeting in their life and things of that nature. You got to understand that it's weird. It's weird. You know, we're moving in spaces that it's just not conducive for anyone's future to be still thinking the way that you think at a certain age. It's certain things that at some point in time you got to let go. It's a good smoke. We can want what we want, but want it with reality. And the realistic part, the portion of it is that don't do anything that you don't want someone to do to you. It goes back to the old saying, treat people the way you want to be treated. If you're trying to manipulate a situation so that it's a better outcome for you, understand and realize that if those are the terms that you set forth, those are the terms that are going to be that is going to be played by. So if you come off and you say, well, you know, I don't need nobody, I don't have to have them around me, I don't want them around me, I want them around me when I want them, recognize the simple fact that they can say the same thing about you. And they can say, well, I'll be around her when she wants me to be around her. I mean, when I want to be around her. I'll holler at her when I want to holler at her. And if that's not the type of relationship that you want to have, or the type of friendship that you want to have, then the best way to show what type of friendship you want to have is by acting it out, by giving it. And if you're giving recluse, frigid, I don't care, it don't bother me, boo, vibes, don't get mad if that's what they show you. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You know the old saying. We can get caught up in a lot of different things. You know. I try to work on improving myself. Improving me to become a better person, a better man, a better father, a better friend, better associate, better employee, better entrepreneur, better hustler, all of it. You know, so we have to put our mindsets in the right place and give it the right energy. If I feed into negative condensation, what type of fruits am I going to bear from feeding into a negative condensation? If I want my fruit to bear good fruit that's healthy, I'm going to feed into and prepare to take care and nourish that plant. Now, you can't expect anything to grow if you don't feed it, if you don't water it. If you just leave it out there to go and do on its own, it's going to derive its own way of life. And let me break that down for you so that you understand what I'm saying. If you want something to flourish and you want something to be where you want it to be, you have to give it that attention so that it can go that way, go the route that you want it to go. It's just like a child. You're not going to sit and tell the child, well, just go out here and do whatever it is that you want to do. No, you're going to steer them in the direction that will place them in a position whereas it can help them out. Now, you're not trying to determine and say, hey, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. But what you're doing is you're giving them options. Hey, think about this from this aspect of it. You know, don't go out here and do this. Let's find another way. So, because this way is going to put you in a situation whereas you can get locked up or unalived. Let's choose another route. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with identifying and reviewing your life. Understanding what it is in life that you want. How are you going to go about achieving that goal? If you get stuck, be able to have the people around you and the loved ones around you and the friends around you and the mentors around you that can get you in the right direction. That is what vetting does. Vetting allows for you to make sure that you have the right people around you so that you can achieve your goal. And if the event comes to the point where they need that same assistance and help, you're right there to provide it for them. Because that's what a community is. We don't have communities anymore. We have individual totalitarian societies where my house, I don't care about anything else. Well, if that's the case, why do you live in subdivisions? Because your house is not dictated based upon your efforts. Your house is dictated based upon your surrounding. So if you buy a house for $125,000 and the houses around you are valued at $250,000, your property is going to now be assessed for $250,000. So basically your house, your investment has grown because of the community. The community that you keep around you will give you that same growth. If you got positive people around you, if you got people that are willing to help and see the business in you, the entrepreneurship in you, they see the drive in you, and it's not a jealous situation, the natural proclivity of a person would be to assist and help. Because that way they can say, hey, I gave back to someone that needed help, and they can play it forward. And they can continue to help other people. But if you come across a person that sits back and say, hey, you know, I did this and I did that, and they say they're your friend, and they see you go through heartache and pain and don't try to offer any type of solution, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they got to offer you money, but just offer you some type of positive, help, support. Evaluate that, because they might not be in your corner. You know, they might be in your corner because of what y'all do. Y'all drink together, y'all have drinks together, you know, y'all go out and y'all hang out together, y'all watch games together, y'all may even smoke a cigar together. But it doesn't mean that that person has your best interest at heart. So take it, keep your eye open, because as you get older, you're supposed to get wiser. So let's be realistic. Let's be in a situation where as we make better choices in our life, better choices in our decisions, better choices when it comes down to choosing a mate. Better choices in rearing our children, raising our children. Better choices in making positive evaluations of life. Realistic evaluations of life. Evaluate yourself honestly. Brutally honest at times. If you need to, brutally honest. Sometimes you gotta hear yourself say, listen, if I'm not in a good position, if I'm not getting good space, what can I do to put me in that space? What can I do to put me in a good space? Financially, relationship-wise, production-wise, working for somebody, doing your own thing. What can I do to make the situation that I'm in right now not come back, not surface again? So figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, find someone around you that you believe in and they believe in you, and sit down and take a hard listen. I had a conversation with a young lady up at my buddy's spot, and she was very adamant about this and about that, and she refused to listen to anything that was said. And so we got on the subject of gentrification, and we had to explain. I had to explain to her, listen, if you can't expect, if you bought a house back in 1970 for $40,000 in the city of Atlanta, and someone comes and buys a land right next door to you. Someone comes to buy the land on the other side of you. Someone comes to buy land down the street from you. And all the houses that they build over there are $800,000 to $1 million. You can't get mad because your property taxes are going to be reassessed and going to go up. Because the other flip side to that, and that is that the same house that you bought for $50,000 is now worth $300,000, maybe $400,000. And they don't want the house, they just want the land. So you benefited from that growth. If you went to go sell right now, you would sell that house and you would walk away with cash. That would be enough to really change your life. Now, the process of you going out there trying to find anything else, that's when you're going to feel the wrath of it. Because if everything that is going in your area that's going $8 to $1 million, and you just sold your house for $400,000 or $500,000, you got to do some evaluation. Can I afford to literally stay in this area? If I can't afford to stay in this area, where can I go that will give me some of the same amenities that being in this area would give? Okay? The one thing about being downtown in any metropolitan city is accessibility. Accessibility to get on expressway, accessibility to be downtown, accessibility to have shopping, events, travel, all of these type of things. That's what you pay for. So, but if I can go and I can find an area that's outside of the metro area, I can now purchase me a vehicle to get back and forth. I now have money to take care of my house. I can turn around and find something out there for now, maybe $150, $170, be able to come through and pay for it, and still have money in the bank so that I can pay my taxes. I can let that money draw interest. I can invest. That's what you do. I'm not trying to say go out here and go buck wild and start throwing parties and paying everybody's, tab and all that kind of stuff off, but do what you need to do to solidify your space. And that's how you win. You went from a situation where you were doing $50,000 to now you got money in your account. And the young lady refused to understand why it was beneficial for that development. Now, just because one person fights to keep the taxes lower. You cannot stop development off of one or two people. If you got 1,000 houses in an area, let's do the numbers. One or two houses or one or two households is not going to stop the 998 or 995 other homeowners there. It's just the law of numbers. You're at such a small percentage that it doesn't effectively create any type of outlook for that. And, you know, sometimes you can be passionate, but you also have to be able to listen. You got to be able to understand and give positive debate on a subject matter that you feel passionate about. But you got to listen, because not always what you think is right. Emotions has to be followed up with logic. Logic is rooted in fact. Simple and plain. Pay attention. Pay attention. You know, I'm going to, you know, all of the people that watch my videos and they comment on my videos and they share my videos and they like my videos, I appreciate every single view of what it is, of the things that I say. You know, I say things that come to me based upon what I hear, what I see, people that I've had conversation with. And the one thing that anybody can sit here and tell you, and any cigar guy will, you know, cigar person will tell you, and that is that in this industry, conversation is king. You can be in a spot where people would just sit back and they'll listen, and they'll give their point of view of it, however way it goes. They'll give their point of view of it. But it's an opportunity to sit back and have grown conversation about things and about how we feel about life. And we solve a lot of problems in cigar shops and in the cigar industry, and conversations that we have with people. You know, a lot of things are said, and it comes from a lot of different views, because you got a lot of different people from different backgrounds. That's another thing that I love about this industry. It's a lot of different things. You know, you get to meet a lot of different people that come from different backgrounds, that have been through different things, whether it is super duper rich, super duper investments, great jobs, athletics, sports, good investments, hard working and grinding. You got so many, and then you got a lot of entrepreneurs that are in this industry: plumbers, electricians, coders, digital coders, brand ambassadors, you know, executives, you know, teachers, lawyers, doctors. There's so many different facets of this industry that you get opportunity to meet. You get the opportunity to be around. And you get opportunity to soak up information that they provide. A good leader has the ability to be able to, not necessarily he got to know everything, but he needs to know where he can get all the information that is needed. And he need to have the people around him that know. A good quarterback can call the plays, get the people in position, but he can't throw it to himself. He can't block for himself. He needs the support of 10 other guys that's out there. It's the ultimate team sport. And we have to look at life in the same manner. Yeah, I'm the quarterback. Without a running game, that's going to rely too much on my arm. You got to give it even balance. I can have top-notch receivers, but I got no running game, which means that my linebacker is going to fall back into coverage because you got no running game. So we're going to outnumber the guys that are back there, and every time they catch it, we're going to pop them. We're going to pop them. We're going to make them arms go from here to alligator arms. That's just how it is. I want to get a shout out to some friends of mine that I see you, you're doing your thing, and I applaud it, man. You know, and I've come over the years, I've come to really appreciate the relationship that they have and the relationship that I have with them. I don't have to talk to them every day. I don't talk to them every week. But whenever I call, or whenever they call me, it's genuine. Jerome and Renee, hey man, Miles Vodka, Jerome Renee Cigars, Red Oak Distribution. Keep doing your thing, man. Kudos to you. You know, y'all got it. And anything that I can do to support, I will. Another shout out, good friend of mine, Jay, Big Boy Cigars. We still gonna do some stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to figure out some stuff and get some things worked out. But we're gonna do some work together. Love his product. Good product, man. Good product. And you can't take your hat off. You know, they doing their thing. It's a lot of stuff that goes on. You know, you got a lot of people out here in this industry they movers. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to Chi-Town Peaches, Cigar Mike. You know, they moving. They're constantly busy. They're constantly coming up with branding situations, and they doing it. Hey, and this is a special shout out. Andy, one love. You know, I've been able to, anytime that I got anything that I want to try to do, I can call on her and she'll be right there. Okay, what do we need to get done? She about that business. And kudos to you. Shout out to you. Continue to keep doing what you're doing. Continue to keep inspiring to do what you do. Smoke well, my friends. Enjoy.